Boys, we have a peak Record of Ragnarok chapter this month. We have Odin's insanity, Kintoki arriving who seems to be injured, the involvement of Thor with many reveals about him, Beelzebub's continued mad lad energy, the strangeness of Anubis, Buddha simply being Buddha, and much more to go over in today's video. I hope you enjoy. First up, we have the primordial god stuff to go over. So it seems like Beelzebub found out about this primordial god during the time he was researching Satan, with us actually getting a image of what it could potentially look like as shown here. If you compare this to the other confirmed primordial god we've seen in the series, Gaia from the Greek god flashback, or more so the flashback for Hades, not gonna lie, they are fairly similar. Personally, I don't think this is Gaia, and I do hope it isn't for the future of the story. That would be a little bit unfortunate if I'm being honest. A different primordial god that goes by the unique name Arki is most likely what it is. Therefore, I cannot wait for more reveals and how Odin is exactly going to resurrect this god, which of course connects to various things we've already got mentioned in some translations for the leaks here, namely connecting it to the existence of Record of Ragnarok and why Odin needs the Ragnarok tournament, which I've already theorized in other videos, but that seems like it's going to be the route the story is going to go down. Now to go over the three-way clash, one of the most insane things we've ever had in Record of Ragnarok. The aura around Odin's weapon is quite severe, once again highlighting his bloodlust and most likely want to take out Beelzebub and Buddha now. Respect to Buddha, no divine weapon, man is ready to continue throwing hands against this version of Odin, so shout out to him as always. With us seeing Beelzebub, who looks to be incredibly serious and ready to pretty much go all out against Odin here, which respect to him, he was a recent fighter in the tournament. He's still, as we see, bandaged up, meaning he's injured, but he's here to throw hands and he seems to be succeeding for what we see. But the fight does not continue, unfortunately. But the one to break it up is actually a little surprising. It is the one and only strongest Nordic god, Thor, who appears in the middle of the group, at least for what we got in the leaked panels here. So he's finally making his move. He hasn't really done anything since he won round 1, so it's about time. Still has a lot more to show in the story. And then shortly after that, we see the likes of Adamas also arriving, and Kintoki, which, if you look at him, he's very clearly injured. A theory is that he went down to Tartarus to pretty much free the likes of Siegfried, as Buddha pretty much told Kintoki to look into Siegfried, and all the recent reveals about Siegfried have pretty much come from pretty much Kintoki's investigation, which probably resulted in him fighting multiple people. That's why he's injured. Hopefully in the next chapter or in the full chapter, we get to see what occurred in that situation. Or maybe Kintoki ended up fighting the likes of Odin in like some other pages in this chapter. Still, we'll have to wait and see. And Adamas is here. I don't know what he's going to do. We saw after Hades lost, he was pretty much crazy, killer intent. He doesn't like the humans by any means and probably never will, so he's all about taking them out. But compared to these gods, as we know, he's fodder. If we consider this panel with the apparent translation here, it seems like Thor is indeed the one who stopped the battle between the gods, and seems to be against Odin or triggered at him to an insane degree, showing from what I can tell his respect to the fallen gods and humans so far in Record of Ragnarok, saying that all their sacrifice probably isn't worth all of this, and we actually see lightning coming off of him as well. So enraged Thor has been shown. Perhaps he is actually on the side of humanity, which of course is a new reveal, as even still to this day we don't know much about Thor, but considering this, it seems like he isn't working with Odin for his plan to resurrect this primordial god, with potentially the sacrifice of all these fighters in the tournament thus far. So crazy reveals, can't believe it. Based on what we got in the panels after that, it seems like Odin pretty much leaves the group. Then we get something else very interesting. So if you don't remember, Beelzebub was the one who put Zero inside of Herjun, which makes the whole dynamic of Beelzebub and Buddha working together Very strange, so I'm glad we see an enraged Buddha here, but he doesn't pretty much continue with his rage very long, at least based on the panels we got for the leaks here. He seems to chill out right away, perhaps based on what Beelzebub says, and then just gives him this light-hearted punch, potentially offering him up the pretty much remains of Zero, the pretty much base of the weapon that Buddha transformed. So he does still have it, and considering his other ability, he should be able to turn this once again into a divine weapon, but him looking like he's giving it to Beelzebub may mean we could have the revival of Zero, but I personally don't think they should do that and don't think that should happen. And if I'm being honest, I think this is just Buddha saying that Zero is still alive and he will forever inside this weapon that he may be using in the future of the story. And that pretty much concludes the whole stuff between the Primordial God reveal and Odin and everyone. We do have this one panel in the leaks. Once again, Odin losing his mind, going absolutely crazy. I don't know exactly at what point during this chapter this actually appears, whether it's during the pretty much about to be clash of the three-way battle, or if it's during like Beelzebub's research of the Primordial God, or, which I believe is the most likely case, Odin, I guess, disappearing from the group, as we also get to see his birds kinda crying as well. So man's absolutely crazy, but seems to be very confident as well, as his plan to resurrect this thing is probably going according to plan for the most part from what we can see. So crazy stuff to be revealed in the future of the story. I wonder if Odin is actually going to fight in the tournament itself. We'll have to wait and see. But the insane reveals in this chapter don't stop there. We cut back to the fight between Okita and Susanoo and see the likes of Anubis watching the fight, getting absolutely excited with what's going on, which, based on how he got cucked by Susanoo in this battle, him fighting next is probably going to be the case. Odin has other stuff going on, Loki had recent reveals so he may be saved for later, so Anubis being next is most likely the case, which means we could potentially have the reveal of Rasputin soon, which I'm excited for. When it comes to, of course, Okita Tsuji and how he's going to deal with, of course, the now serious Susanoo, he seems to be fine, portraying his insane speed once again, so we love to see that. However, I don't think we're going to be seeing much of this fight during this chapter. We do get various shocked reactions from the likes of Hermes, Ares again, even Jack the Ripper making some comments about what's going on, which is going to be cool to see in the full chapter when we get the translations. But I doubt much more will be revealed regarding the fight itself during this month's chapter. However, we have one more thing to pretty much go over. We see that this guy is indeed in Record of Ragnarok. If you don't know who he is, he's the protagonist from Requiem of the Shinsengumi, the manga Okita Tsuji is from, alongside all the other Shinsengumi, which was created before Record of Ragnarok by one of the Ragnarok authors, which means they're probably going to have a lot of correlation considering all the character designs are the same, and we've already got flashbacks pretty much the same of what happens in that manga as well. So he's the protagonist of that series, and based on some translations from various sources, apparently he's annoyed and triggered that he wasn't chosen to fight in Record of Ragnarok, that it was Okita Tsuji over him, explaining why he's not chilling alongside the group of the other Shinsengumi. He'll probably appear alongside them at some point and will probably have a role in the future of the story as well, which is going to be pretty interesting. Let me know down below what you think he's going to do. I definitely think all of the Shinsengumi are going to end up fighting like some demons or even some gods when all shit goes down in the future of the story, considering what Odin is doing. But that's pretty much everything we got for the leaks or spoilers for this month. Stay tuned for the full video on the entire chapter when the translations come out. The leaks are posted in the Discord, likewise for the full chapter when it comes out, so join, link in the description. Shout out to the members, the Mad Lads. You can become one as well and get access to various additional content and receive various other benefits. Thanks for watching. That's it, guys. Peace.